Hi guys. All right. Today we are going to be talking a little bit more about bullying. I know that we have touched on the surface of it, but at this point we haven't done a whole lot of talking about it. So we are going to get more in depth with it, and we are going to have a little bit of discussion. I want you guys to get a pen and some paper out, and I want you guys to be ready to answer some of the questions that we touch on, make notes, and be ready to have a discussion about this when we get to class. Okay, so we are going to share our experiences with bullying. We are going to identify different emotions that go along with bullying. We're going to talk about the different types of bullying and learn what bullying actually is and how it can happen. We are hopefully going to develop some strategies to help stop bullying, and we are going to discuss ways in which we can cope with being a victim or a bystander. And at the end, we're going to have some fun and take some interactive quizzes and discuss some random facts. So my first question to you guys is, have you ever been bullied? I have to say that I think that most people probably have been bullied in one form or another. If you think that you haven't been bullied right now, I have a feeling that by the end of the presentation, you probably will have a different thought process on that. Most people have been bullied in one way or another. So I want you to talk to me about when this happened, where you were, and most specifically, I want to talk about how it made you feel. If you specifically haven't been bullied yourself, that's okay. I want to hear about a time that you were somehow involved in bullying. If you saw someone else being bullied, or if you know of a time, just talk to me about anything that you've been involved in as far as bullying. I want you to take a look at these pictures, and I want you to tell me what you think makes you feel, which picture makes you feel like it's representing bullying to you. I want you to identify which one seems to be what bullying is to you. Then I want you to take a look at these pictures, and I want you to tell me, how do you think that the person who's being bullied, do you think it makes them, how does it make them feel? Do you think that they feel sad? Do you think that they feel angry? Do you think that they're embarrassed or happy? Or do you think that they're confused and they don't know what to do or how to feel about it? And then the next one, I want to know what you think about the person who is actually doing the bullying. How do you think the person who is bullying someone else feels? Do you think that they feel macho? Do you think that that's why they do it, because it makes them feel better about themselves, makes them feel big? Do you think that they feel alone? Do you think that they feel sad? Or do you think that they just don't know how to deal with their emotions, so they are doing things to other people to hurt them? Okay, what is bullying? Bullying is a verb. Okay, so that means that it's an action, right? The closest definition that I could find for bullying is to use superior strength or influence to intimidate someone, typically him or her to do what one wants. But upon more searching, I found that there isn't really a legal definition for bullying. But the general agreement upon people is that bullying is a behavior that is meant to hurt someone else or to make them do something that they do not want to do. when I was in school, bullying was just something that happened on the playground. It wasn't necessarily as big of a deal as it is today. It was maybe even seen as a rite of passage, okay? But times have changed, and there are becoming more research and more findings that bullying is something that can affect people at any age, anywhere, and it's just something that seems to make people's lives miserable and unpleasant. This table over here is kind of interesting. I found this, it breaks down what bullying looks like in the different forms. So you can see here that the big one is like name calling, and then over here is cyberbullying. The threats and intimidation, you can see that those are, and damaging property, that those aren't the biggest ones. So I just thought this was interesting. So take a look at that and see what you think. Get rid of this real quick. How can someone bully another person? That's something I want you guys to think about, and I'm going to give you some examples. Like we just talked about, it can be calling names. It can be starting mean and untrue rumors. It can be physically hurting somebody else, or making someone do something that would embarrass them or that they don't want to do. It can be as simple as making mean nicknames and calling someone that in public. There's the threatening or intimidating or destroying someone's personal belongings. And where can bullying happen? Bullying can happen anywhere, but specifically it can happen at school. It can happen online or on social media. Unfortunately, it can happen at home, or it can happen on the phone. I want you guys to think about this stuff and see if you can think of any more ways in which someone could be bullied, and ways in which and where it can take place. Okay, I have 2 videos here, and they're not that long. I think that one of them is like 7 minutes, and the other one is like 3 minutes. I want you guys to watch those. We're not going to watch them together, but we're going to watch them individually. And I want you to think about these things, and I want you to come up with, what do you think bullying looks like? And what can we do to stop it? I feel like that is the most important thing these days, is what can we do to stop bullying? Okay, the next question I want you guys to think about is, if I'm being bullied or I see bullying going on, what can I do about it? And the big one is that you need to talk to an adult. Whether you are being bullied or you see bullying going on, talking to a trusted adult, that one can always be the biggest help. The next one, if you see someone being bullied, speak up, do what's right, be kind. If you are the one that is being bullied, the most important thing is to tell them to stop. If you don't tell them to stop and you don't talk to them and tell them that you don't like it, then you're the one that is not letting them know how it's making you feel. And then the most important one, in my opinion, is don't become a bully. Just because someone is bullying you doesn't mean that you need to become a bully yourself. Kind of like what we have talked about, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Don't become a bully. That one's the most important one to me. Get rid of this before we go to the next screen.